Hey everybody, it's Brandon Clayman and Jordan Gardner from Conscious Commerce Corporation. We're going to dive right into the power of the inbox. Thank you very much for participating. Just a quick background here. We've been in this space for many years. Constant Contact and Conscious Commerce are great friends. We're best friends. We've been in business for 15 plus years together. The founder of Constant Contact was my first contact, Alex Stern, and it's been a fun ride. We've been the top partner worldwide for, I don't know, 8 years. You can see that we have 244 five-star reviews, and that's a huge accomplishment for us because we are a small business and we work our butts off to get the results for you. And so these webinars are designed to give you knowledge and insights on specific channels. We cover all the different channels in marketing, and we have a lot of knowledge. All of our staff at Conscious Commerce are certified. I was the very first certified email marketing consultant for Constant Contact. There are 10,000 partners, and we're very grateful to have this relationship. We offer these types of services at our agency, and we also provide a free managed account program where we simply get on consulting calls for you. Many of you already pay for consulting. We don't charge for the consulting piece. We like to share our knowledge. Transparency is one of our values. We're all marketers here. We love to see you winning and succeeding. So we do specific email marketing optimizations. We'll tell you all the great best practices specifically to your account, your campaigns, and the related results and metrics. So we go over all of that together with you, cover the different channels, making sure that you're understanding where you need to focus and how you're going to get there. And that's for you to implement and do on your own. So let's just go right at it. Why email? Actually, really quick, just out of a show of hands, how many of you are currently using email marketing? Just use the hand feature, or you can use the questions option. It'd be great to know how many of you actually use email marketing. Thank you, LeMay, and several others. Okay, cool. Email's been around forever, and it's just a fantastic channel. It has way more conversion power than a lot of other channels out there. You can see that it's 3 times more effective than social media. The biggest metric out there around email marketing is right here. It's for every dollar spent, so every marketing dollar spent on email marketing, there's a $44 ROI on average. And we actually can see those numbers, and we know that they're true for our clients because we at Conscious Commerce, with our cool standards, by the way, we were an award-winning agency. Constant Contact gave us the award for Best Integrated Marketing Campaign, which was super exciting. It was a lot of fun, and it's a big award. But we know that when we send emails for our clients, or when our clients are sending emails, as long as we've set up the correct tracking, we can see the dollar value that's being generated for the emails that are being sent. You might be wondering, well, I don't sell online. That's okay. We can still correlate a dollar value for an appointment booking, a contact form filled out. There's lots of ways to track digital metrics and then correlate that to a dollar value. That's the biggest metric out there for email. And it's why people do it, because it is cost effective. Everybody's reading their email. I mean, how many of you read their email today? You know, I mean, everybody. We're always reading. It's constantly happening. Oh, hold on, let me check my email in the middle of a presentation. I mean, literally, it's going on religiously. And it's critical because business isn't just about marketing, or email is not just about the marketing aspect of it. It's critical communications. It's being used for so many reasons, and it isn't going anywhere. Email's been around forever, and it's probably going to stay here forever. Because even in the future, when we just use like our eyes and our fingertips, our voices to, you know, log into websites or web services, what do you think is going to be the fallback plan to get back into an account? It's going to be your email address. It's always behind the scene happening. You know, and we know that, like, we're not making these numbers up either, because it's all based on the facts that we have been researching and studying and seeing in the industry. We watch this all the time. It's totally reliable as well. So I've done this presentation several times. Constant Contact just rebranded, and they now have the new logo. I don't know how many of you like their new logo, actually, just by a show of hands. The Constant Contact new logo in the top right corner here. I'm still kind of feeling my way through it, to be honest with you. I've been working with the old logo for like, I don't know, 18 years, I think.
It's hard to make a change like that, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think they were overdue. So it's good to see that that's happening. Um, so we're going to cover, why email marketing, harnessing the power, putting it all together. We're going to share with you a lot of best practices. I'm basically driving this presentation. Jordan's going to be engaging you online. We can see how many of you are actually paying attention. So if you're here and want to get the most out of our time together, ask us questions anytime. It's fine. We can answer anything about anything to do with email, Constant Contact, and related products. We don't just work with Constant Contact. We have a lot of different products in our portfolio and platform. So first impressions matter. You got to make sure that when we're sending a communication, that it looks good, it operates well, like it functions well, it's technically correct, so that it renders on devices, and we'll get into all the optimizations. But the email on the left is like old school. It's basically, somebody doing an email in Microsoft Outlook and thinking that they can get away with that, and that's just what we're not here for. We're here for something that looks like what's on the right. So that's an email campaign that we just sent out today, actually, for one of our clients, and you can see the difference. It's just night and day between the old way of doing things and the new way. And some of you might even be using Gmail to send communications out. The purpose of of this whole entire presentation is to show you what is possible when you use tools such as Constant Contact and related. So you might see me wandering off. I'm not losing attention. I have 4 27-inch monitors here in my command center. So I'm seeing engagements, I'm seeing slides, I've got other eyes in other places. So don't think I'm not paying attention to what I'm telling you. Some of the challenges in regular email, you can only send to a certain number of people, and then you've got zero formatted control. You have no reporting. You absolutely can't see anything to do with stats, metrics, opens, clicks, none of that. They're not compliant with anti-spam legislation across the entire world. I've done a ton of anti-spam legislation consultations for clients, especially over the last few years, with privacy being a main concern. You just don't get any of that with any of these old systems. I'm actually curious, how many of you are not using any kind of professional email marketing tool, and you're still using your Gmail to send like mass emails out, just by a raise of hands? Okay, so that's good to know. I hope you gain a lot of value from this webinar today. Is there? I see LeMay Weber has a question. Jordan, are you?
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Brandon. LeMay is asking, basically, when she gets a lot of emails that have a lot of images to download and not much other than that, she might not download it. Is that a reason to make your email a little bit more simpler?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're in a visual world, and we're even starting now to do full-on animated GIFs. That's a different type of image format. So images are becoming a lot more relevant and critical in these communications. But we've always had this strategy from day one to do a hybrid design where we're blending in an image with text, and then we're doing a lot to make sure that the images are going to be opened and seen. There's hacks and ways that I'll share with you as we go along in this presentation of what is possible around that. So basically, if you only send an email with one image, you're going to run into some severe performance issues with that. With Constant Contact, we do it all. We make your email amazing in terms of the format, the design, all of that good stuff. And by the way, this email you see on the left, the free haircut, that does look good, but it's also one of those situations where that type of email may not perform as well as, say, the one on the right. So it's critical to have that balance of images, just to your question that you had over there, LeMay. Michael isn't able to hear us, so see if you can help him with the audio there, Jordan.
Working on it right now.
Awesome. So yeah, we use email marketing to reinforce the brand. We have an opportunity, just like you would on social media or paid advertising and all these other channels, to show off your brand. Make sure that you are being consistent, that people can recognize you. That's really, really critical. And so we use Constant Contact to help with so many of the challenges that people may be facing. I saw Cecilia was using the old way of sending messages. You can't manage subscriptions. You're basically spamming people, and you have really no design control. So some of those previous reasons you saw on the other slide are all solved with using tools such as Constant Contact. One of the big ones, we have clients that have lists of 200,000 contacts, and they can't use systems that they have to actually use Constant Contact for the purpose of making sure that their emails actually get delivered. And Constant Contact goes through a very large workflow every month in building partnerships and connections with all the ISPs out there to allow these emails to be delivered. And it's just it's an ongoing battle of priorities of the inbox and getting that inbox, getting priority in there as well as deliverability. So a lot going on for sure. One of my favorite parts of using email marketing, which got me hooked, into this space many, many years ago, is the ability to track results. And I mean, how many of you know that you can actually see when you use these tools when a person opens, who they are, and if they've clicked, and what link did they click on? Did you know that you can know all of that information inside of email marketing? It's fascinating what is possible. And when we layer into the performance, the ability to track results, then we specifically can see the correlation of clicks to revenue. And that's really what we're going after, is to see where or how is this email performing. And again, not all of you are in the revenue space when it comes to a traditional newsletter. Sometimes it's brand awareness, so you're looking at other metrics. But at the end of the day, money is still what is the underlying energy of driving the economy. Part of email marketing is basically making sure that our list is growing on a regular basis. We have, in every year, on average, the facts are that your list is going to shrink by 30%. So if you have 1,000 contacts January 1st, December 31st, you're going to end up with 700 contacts if you don't do something about it. So our goal with email marketing is to make sure that your list is growing at least 30% a year. I'm referring to your churn rate, and it's going to be different for everybody, but ultimately, you got to make sure that it's way past 30%. And that way your list is going to stay healthy, grow sustainably, and so on and so forth. In terms of getting people on the list, we have to ask for express consent. That's really a person giving permission to be marketed to. So if we don't ask, we don't get. And if you don't ask directly, then there could be confusion, and then they might not even remember them even being added to the list. We also have to make sure that we're providing people the opportunity to opt out. If they don't have that option to remove themselves from the list, that's considered spam, and that is illegal and also infringes on people's privacy. And what we're learning as we keep evolving as a human species is that we are consistently we're concerning ourselves more and more about privacy. And with this whole COVID situation, more and more of us are spending time online. And so we're also paying attention to, well, how much information am I really giving away? And you'd be surprised to see what that really looks like. We see that on our end. We're marketing every day, and we can see how effective and how deep and wide we can go to advertise to people in certain demographics. If you have any questions, ask away. If I'm going too fast, let me know. There's going to be time later for Q&A. And if there's any other partners on the call that are from Constant Contact, hello, it's Brandon Clayman. Good to see you. Hopefully you'll learn a few tricks here too. List growth. You know what? This is one of those ongoing challenges that we just talked about. There's a couple of ways that, you know, like 2 channels or mediums that you can grow your list. Print. If you are in retail, actually, I'm curious, how many of you are in retail or any like are still in that physical business world? Just raise your hand. It'd be great to know a little bit about more about your businesses that way. Signage is always a good thing. Business cards, flyers, brochure, direct mail. Lots of ways you can use print to connect a campaign to getting more subscribers happening. On your business cards, you can put a call to action on there. Hey, join our newsletter for insights on, you know, HR performance or whatever you want to do. But if you're connecting yourself throughout all of this, then great. You can also use on your print QR codes, and also text to join is another possibility. So you can do some offline to online connections to get more people subscribing. I've done lots of events on, you know, 60 ways to grow your list. So if you ever have any questions about list growth or list growth strategies, let me know or just ask, and happy to answer those questions for you. Online, lots of places and spaces that you can do list growth, landing pages, paid search campaigns. We actually have some other products now that are able to rapidly speed up list growth. It's a brand new innovative tool. It's very cool that we're using. Social media, you can drive people to, you know, shorten a shorter bit.ly link or to your website for people to opt in. If you're even doing a paid advertising campaign on Facebook, we have a couple of clients that we're doing some campaigns for, and one of them gets, I think, 1,000 new emails a month, and the cost is very low, which is great. And now we also then activate things like automation campaigns to take those contacts and to do something with them right away. Email signature, put a link in your email signature saying join my newsletter. Even if you're running webinars and events, you know, if you're signing up to people's webinars or you're hosting your own, that's a great opportunity for an exchange of getting an email address. Online e-commerce as well, another main area where you can see that happening. Hopefully some of you are using those strategies. Even a survey, you know, works as well. People subscribe to your list, and they join your newsletter because they want promotions, they want to follow you, they want to basically stay connected. And they may, depending on your strategy, they might be looking for exclusivity. Loyalty is part of email marketing. We always find that there's a strong correlation of people who are willing to give their email address in exchange for something that we give them. But there's always been this really good connection. And as long as you're consistent and you're putting out a good balance of content, so everything from promos to, you know, well-written articles, you're going to find that email is going to be a very sustainable digital marketing channel for you. The key is to making sure that they're getting something relevant. You definitely don't want to be sending communications to your audience that would, you know, disengage them. So that's part of looking at the stats, and we'll get into that later. But just making sure that, you know, if you look at your business and understand it, you know, in more detail, you have to make sure that we're hitting the target. If not, people unsubscribe. And even today, it's even that much easier just on their phone to just unsubscribe at any time. So, and they do. They get unsubscribed if they're bored. They will mark it as spam if they think it's irrelevant. And, you know, that's the kind of the bad part about email is that somebody could do, they can just, like, if they don't like your article, they can unsubscribe and mark it as spam. And it wasn't, and even if they actually specifically subscribe to your list, they could still do that. And it's annoying because you had express consent. So you always have to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to deliver relevant, engaging content, have really good promotions. If you are telling clients that you're going to give them exclusive content, then do that. I'll tell you with American Express, we have the platinum card, and they give us they'll give us advance notice of a concert or some sort of exclusive promotion that we get in advance. That's marketing done right. So we don't want to be seeing a mismatch between what you tell people you're going to do for them when they sign up for your newsletter and then give them something that they didn't even ask for. You're going to find that that's a bad strategy for your business. So you want to write for your audience, not for you. Here's an example of an email we did for a lumber company in Vancouver area. Pretty clear, simple. They just wanted to launch their new website. They also are allowing for online payments, so they're letting their clients know that they have a variety of new service features. And just recently, we went live with their e-commerce storefront. So another reason to, speak to their audience directly, providing more conveniences for them, so on and so forth. As the channel evolves inside of email to be, more mobile-centric, more mobilely focused, less is more. So you definitely don't want to add a bunch of content to your newsletter. You might be better off to break it up into sending 2 communications in a month instead of all of this content all at once. It just gets too busy, and people ultimately end up inundated. So the magical number in marketing and in the universe is 3. So always think of, okay, either 3 articles or 3 images or no more than 3 calls to action. We've done tests in the past where we're selling flowers. If on one email we did a split test, and on one email we had 1 bouquet. On another email we had 3 bouquets of flowers. What email do you think did better? The one that had 1 or the one that had 3? The one that had 1 outperformed the one that had 3, but by at least 3 times the performance. So think of it when you're going to a shoe store and you see 50 different pairs of shoes, you're never going to make a decision. It's going to take forever, and you'll probably walk out of there more frustrated than you were when you started, and you were excited to get a pair of shoes, and now you're like, I don't know what to do. So if you only see 3 or 4 or 5, then it's not nearly as challenging to make a decision. The same applies within marketing across all the channels. So back to that point, where think of it from the customer's perspective, the client, from the audience, they have questions. How do you translate that into content? And you can see easy fix here. And then you've got blog content now, you've got some social content, and you've got some just regular general content on your website. You can build out FAQs and all kinds of cool things. But you definitely want to make sure that you're communicating to your audience as relevant as you can. We see that word relevance is a really critical one in marketing because it has to do with your target market. We know that in paid advertising, if it even scores the ads that are running and how relevant is that ad to the people engaging them. And if that number isn't higher, then we're not going to see performance coming from the campaign. So a lot of critical stuff. We are visual people, so we have to obviously make sure that we're communicating visually, using photos, video, rich media, animated GIFs, really critical stuff. When you're using photos, and I see this all the time, people don't add their images to emails in the way that they really should be. I'll just tell you this, if you resize the image on your computer locally and make sure that it's actually the right weight, the right dimensions, and the right resolution, then you will be able to deliver, the email will be more effective in delivery. As well, it'll render faster, there won't be pixelation, and it just works better. So, and make sure that you're using images you have permission to use. You can use your own photos. We also provide stock images inside of Constant Contact and other sources.
Hey, Brandon, we had a question here. What is the ideal resolution and size of a photo when adding it to your email?
So it's changed over the last little while. There's 800 pixels wide is the typical width of an email template. So you could go 800 wide. If you want to cheat a little bit, you can increase that to say 1,000 pixels, potentially 1,200. You know, I'm on a 27-inch monitor with a 1080, like 1920 by 1080 resolution. Another screen that I have is 4K, so it's 3,800 in resolution. But that's me. You know, not everybody has that type of technology, and so typically you'll always be safe with that 800. In terms of the heights, I wouldn't go any higher than 600 pixels high, because then that's like a really big feature ad image. It's going to look great, but keep in mind that if they have images blocked, which most email clients do, they're not going to see anything. So make sure you're also adding a description for every image, and that you are trying your best to do that hybrid approach where you have an image with text, not text overlay on the image, but having like a description of the image that reinforces what's in that image. And then a little tip, if you are running into problems with deliverability and you think like nobody's clicking on my stuff, it's because they have images blocked. So in the description, like when you go and upload the image, and by the way, we can do all of this one-on-one if you want. Like I'll go into your account, Jordan will log in, we'll teach you guys how to do these things specifically. It's part of our managed account program. We love doing it, it's fun. Because we feel like heroes after each of those calls, because we can tell you lots of cool things relevant to your account. But specifically, if you're trying to see these images be viewed better, then you can write in the actual image description something like this, like unblock images to view the promotion. And you can use that creatively to send messages, because when an image is blocked, they'll see the text, but they won't see the image. So if the text is unblock the image to reveal the promotion, it almost becomes like a call to action unto itself. So it's a little workaround on how you can improve that. Ideally, we want to utilize email marketing to really stand out in the inbox. You know, make your campaigns look great on both mobile and desktop. This is one of our other clients. These are campaigns that Conscious Commerce has done, and we will go to war with any of our competition to prove that we'll always be top producing when it comes to the results. We've worked with huge brands. We've worked with tons of small businesses, solopreneurs. Every single time we touch this channel, it turns to gold. We love it. It's my favorite across all of them. You know, I know Jordan loves paid search as one of his top channels, and SEO, but
personal favorite.
Yeah. So yeah, you've got your mobile here on the left, desktop on the right. You can see the difference. You're looking for consistency, making sure that these emails are going to connect to your current website, your brand on social. It's really important. I'm sure you've heard this a lot by other marketing consultants, but being consistent, I can't stress enough, because all we're trying to do, and unfortunately, we're not a $2 trillion business like Apple is. I don't know if you know that that's what their actual current valuation is, and they are the wealthiest company in the world. But we don't have that. We're not privy to that kind of marketing leverage. So we need to be extra consistent, because people won't remember us as much. Even our clients here on this webinar, some of you probably think that I am Constant Contact. Well, we're not. We're Conscious Commerce. And I bet you're confusing the name. Some of us call us like, Conscious Contact. And it's no, we're two separate organizations. And so basically what I'm getting at is, if you're gonna do an email like this, make sure it's connecting in some way to the look and feel on your website. So like if a feature ad is happening in your email, then make sure that it's inside of the website as a slider. And that's basically what you're seeing here, so that it's maintained consistency. So types of communications, there's lots of reasons to use email. You can do your classic newsletter. A lot of real estate agents, nonprofit organizations, they love that brand awareness. They love to just be top of mind. So it's just your good old fashioned, good, classic newsletter with articles and all kinds of cool things. Press releases, announcements, that's another, newsworthy communication. So you can have, for example, with Worldwide Eco Tours, a brand new trip is being announced. So it could be for exciting new events, promotions, sales. You saw the Dirty Laundry Vineyard. Here's Large Hill Winery, save 10%. Great use of email. So good stuff going on there. With the way things are unfolding, again, we're seeing now that single column templates are more effective. Back to the 3 images piece. 20 lines of text is a lot. I'm going to argue that for me, I'm all about more clicks, more links. So in every paragraph of content, I'd like to see 2 to 3 links in there, and it doesn't matter what Constant Contact says. I am the king of email, and that's what I say goes, and that's what does work. If you don't put enough links in your email, people aren't going to click. It's not enough to just have 1 link, because people they have to find it. You don't want people having to find those links to click on them. So definitely more is better when it comes to the links, but you don't want to be adding more than 2 to 3 per paragraph of text. Linking every image, all your buttons, adding social. We talk a lot about action above the scroll line, and that is when somebody's looking at the email, they're only seeing like the first half. So you want to make sure that whatever they're seeing first, it's something engageable, something that they'll be able to quickly take action on. So the other stuff that's connected to best practices around making sure that we're really harnessing and leveraging this channel is making sure that you're recognized. So the from name needs to be correct. Check your spelling across everything you're doing, everything from your company name to the subject line to the pre-header. All of those things are factors. But you also want to make sure that everything you're doing is being reviewed before you send it. So if you want us to look at the campaign, you can send us an email review request. We will look at that and we'll test it for you, and then we'll give you back a bunch of ideas that you can implement on your own. But recognize the sender, subject line. Subject lines are really, really critical. I have another presentation I do just on subject lines. Timing is also a relevant factor in making sure that you have good performance. Social media is also a good way to connect. So you have email to social. Lots of people do that too. So the from name, if people know who it's from and they recognize the email, then that right there is a huge deciding factor on whether or not they're going to continue to open up this email. The subject line is another major deciding factor in their choices on whether or not they want to proceed. So it starts off with, who's it from? Do I know this name? Do I know the email? And then the subject line, it better be compelling and enticing. So for example, if you are doing a regular monthly newsletter communication and you put in the subject line August newsletter, that's getting deleted. But if you put, let's say you have an article in there, the top 10 ways to groom your pet, put that in your subject line, that's going to see open rates and engagements for sure guaranteed, versus just the regular newsletter piece. Remember, we're not Apple, so we have to be super effective and creative, as compelling as we can be, and be simple at the same time. So when we work with clients, we build email marketing strategies all the time, and we know why we're using the channel, and we specifically communicate with each client to identify where are their key metrics, where we need to focus, what's the purpose of the communications. And so we're going to use this as an example as we go through the process here and just kind of look at some of the things we just discussed. There's the recognizable company name. If you have a big company name, maybe use an abbreviation, something that you would normally use in your branding. Subject lines are the tricky one because it is a deal breaker. It could, you could have an amazing email prepared for somebody, but if the subject line isn't that great, chances are they're not going to open it. So you wasted all that time. People don't realize it, but the average open rate is like anywhere from 15 to 20%, depending on your industry, depending on how often you send emails. We know we were working with a client in the past, they had a 2% open rate, and their list is 6 figures, and then now it's at 10%. They couldn't live without email marketing, so we really took them to that next level. And it's because of things like subject line, recognizability, keeping in check with the standards. Pre-header text is also a component now that's available that you'll see on a mobile device, and it's right here. You can see that that is the pre-header text down there. The subject line is up here, and then the company name is there. So just keeping in tune with, these standards will help you get higher deliverability, more performance, more engagement. Every email is being filtered now, and if you have a B2B business and you're working with, like if you're sending communications to like big corporations, they're going to have special software that kind of controls how these emails get delivered. And so they'll be searching and scouring that entire communication to circumvent phishing, spam. There's all kinds of ridiculous communications that go out that are illegal. And so these systems stop that from happening. And they also look at what words you're using. It could be a legitimate email, but if you're using free and all of these types of words, it's going to get blocked and it won't even get delivered. So these are all specific to making sure we're improving deliverability. Again, we can look at those emails for you. All you have to do is send an email to us, and we'll happily send you a response back in a short period of time. When we combine emails with social media buttons, we see an increase in click-through, a really nice increase. So we're also looking at, well, how do you take people out of email and into social or other areas and other channels that you could be engaging your audience with? And that is part of why we would do that, is incorporating more social media engagement inside of emails. We've done things in the past where we have a button that we put into the email that says, share this newsletter or share this article, and it's like sort of a workaround in Facebook, but we are able to do those types of things to help increase the engagements, increase the spread of make these viral. That's our goal. How do we get more forwards? How do we get more people looking at these emails, more clicks, more website traffic, more everything? When we go in to have monthly calls with our clients, we break down by channel. This is what's super cool. Maybe next month we'll show you what that looks like. George, maybe make a note.
Got it.
The channel breakdown, we know organic traffic, we know paid search traffic, we know email traffic, and we know social. And so we can see the percentage breakdown of where are we getting the traffic from, like what channel, and then what's the correlating revenue or performance that we're getting from each channel. And that's how we know when we send emails, because we have the tracking in place, how effective are they from a revenue perspective, or from appointment bookings, or whatever it looks like. We just got off the phone with this client. We showed them the correlation of their Google My Business listing to how many contact form requests came off their website from that source. Incredible. And they were happy, we were happy, because that's ROI. Opens, they help with engaging, like helping us to understand how interested somebody is in the content. The key is to look at, if you're doing email consistently, figure out the best day and time. There's several different ways you can do that. But ultimately, we want to make sure, because it's like your email's like the bow and arrow, and you're trying to target, and once you let go, there's nothing you can do about it. It's sent. You can't retract it. But what we do to mitigate that is we do A/B testing, and we do, with other tools, we have AI integration. So we know exactly when a user is most likely going to open specifically that email. So for example, Michael might like to open his emails at 1 in the morning, and Jordan at 5 in the morning, and me at 12 in the afternoon. Other systems we use allow us to track individual opens and then send it to them at that time. So there's lots of ways to advance this, because ultimately we're looking to increase the open rates as much as humanly possible so that we're getting more clicks, because you can't really click unless you've opened. Clicks are what measure success, identify who's really the engaged readers, the ones that are consuming the content. Industry averages 5 to 18. Most of our clients are leaning to the double digits of clicks, because that's what we do to help them get there. If they didn't open, you can figure out creative ways to re-engage. You can resend to the unopens and change up the subject line. That's a simple strategy to implement in Constant Contact. You can also work on doing split testing with that audience. You can maybe increase your promotion, maybe make it more aggressive. So if it was 10% to everybody and then you wanted to change it and sweeten the deal to the people who weren't engaged, maybe make it 15%. See if you can change that. So when people unsubscribe from your list, don't take it personal. It's just business. There's 100 ways or reasons why people do that. Remember that I told you before the churn rate is 30% a year when people switch jobs or their email boxes are full or all kinds of reasons. But ultimately what we're looking to do is try and find out why they unsubscribe. So there's a form that they can fill out that helps us to identify what those reasons are. And you know, you don't want to be bugging them after the fact, but you want to learn from those mistakes and then try and improve the performance next time. There's no set and forget in marketing. There isn't any, you can't go into autopilot anywhere in life. So why would you do this in this channel? This is a great place to also learn and then adapt, implement better changes on an ongoing basis. I don't care what the client is. If it's like the top, you know, email newsletter in the world, I can pretty much guarantee that I'm going to improve the performance of the campaign because there's always some type of minor innovation, little things here and there that can be tweaked, even if a little touch more of salt, you know, could make a difference. And sometimes with certain clients who've been doing, you know, lots of email over a long period of time, that's when we have bigger challenges around how do you sort of revolutionize it. And sometimes we have to change up the designs, the creatives. There's all kinds of ways that we can do that. Bounces, simply keep your list clean, get rid of addresses that are no longer valid. Just clean up your list because you pay for the number of contacts on your list. So if you're not doing bounce management, then you're wasting time and money. If you have that low metrics, you know, low opens and low clicks, again, make sure you're recognizable. Make sure your subject line is catchy. I think that's a huge factor. And making sure that your timing is bang on. And then for low clicks, either increase the call to action by making it more lucrative, making it more, you know, improving the performance of the promotion itself. Maybe look back into your past and look at, well, what did work? We have a Benjamin Moore client. We've run the same promotion so many times because it's just been so successful. It's just the get your free paint samples. And they use it all the time. It works, you know, and then from the paint sample, they end up selling paint. It's great. Short, succinct, focused, and target your emails. I'm not getting into all the advanced stuff. Like there's more to obviously email than what I'm sharing with you today, but this is a really good starting point for all of you. And I don't know where everybody's at either in their like experience with email marketing. You can tell us if you want in the questions box, kind of like how often do you send an email, or if you're an advanced or basic or new. Let us know kind of where you're at. You know, we have more advanced content is what I'm getting at. So if you want to be a little bit more of a power user, we also offer training. So if you just want some good old fashioned hands-on training in a small group format, we can do that and go through the entire platform with Constant Contact. I've done that a lot over the years. When you have high open rates and click-throughs, keep focusing, keep getting that best time and day. You know, looking at how to use segmentation, tagging. There's dynamic content you can incorporate. There's also specifically A/B testing. I think that's also important because again, when you're doing really well, you can still do better. So you're always looking for more. If you don't have 100% open rate and 100% click-through, then you've got room to grow. And I've seen clients with 50% open rates and higher. You know, and it's exciting because you can really make an impact here. So here's what an ideal email looks like. You know, you've got your subject line nicely formatted in check. It's following the standards. Branding is in place. They have a clear call to action. Sign up today. They're using images and text as a communication. So there's a good balance here. They have 3 events and it's actually for different audiences, so that's good too, because you don't necessarily know exactly who's gonna, get what. And then you have some social media buttons on the bottom. The thing that they could do with the social next time, and this is what we do with our custom template design, we'll typically create the social media buttons and any other relevant buttons to adhere to the branding of the actual, like your actual brand standards, because it kind of allows you to take ownership more and also creates more consistency, better color scheme as well. But yeah, that's what a good looking email looks like. And at this point, what we'd like to do is, with the time that we have left, is just open this up for any questions. You guys have been pretty quiet so far, so you're either incredible experts at email marketing and you know it all, or you might be shy. Well, I won't bite your head off. So if you have any questions, ask away. And I'm gonna just let you know that we have an exclusive promotion for you today. If you're interested in getting an upgrade in your email template, plus we'll do a complete review of your account and give you a bunch of optimizations, we'll do all of that for $250. So it's a quick turnaround, 3 to 5 days. We do all custom design. We don't outsource. We have employees here. We've been operating for 18 years. We'd love the opportunity to be in service to you. We're very streamlined. We're very focused. There's no hard selling going on. Buy it, don't buy it. It makes no difference to me. Where my heart is to connect and create a relationship with you and to see that you're leveraging our knowledge so that you get better results. That's all I care about. And we are, that's why we're here. So Jordan and I are marketing agency partners, part of Conscious Commerce Corporation under the MAP brand, market, advertise, promote. And we are having Jordan do the next event next month. This is all on paid advertising, Google search. Jordan has been working with us on getting our entire organization fully multi-channel certified. And we're almost at the level of a premier partnership status with Google. We're already partners with them, but we're almost there. So yeah, that's basically the gist of the presentation. I'll just show you our website really quick on the email piece. We're here, and we have a full solution. We do all of this work for clients all the time. We set you up, we get you going. If you're brand new, then we can get you going there. These are our public prices. We don't hide anything. These are for like actual full solutions. And there's we also sell just templates. So the promotion today was just the template. But if you're new and getting started to email marketing, we can work out a deal for you as well. Lots of happy.
We got a question here. LeMay is a longtime user of Constant Contact. She's actually been using it a little bit less since she started because she's been using more marketing automation with email included. She wants to know if there is a role for both.
Well, there's a time and place for automation. So let me see here. If with email included, is there a role for both? What is that really like? Kind of like help me understand that a bit more, because what are you trying to do? Like, see, like, should I just be doing automation versus regular newsletters? And I would say no. I would say definitely keep focused on a communication that's going out consistently month over month, if that's what you've been doing. Because what happens is if you stop doing the communications, the regular general communications, and then you just do them randomly, clients might think that all you're trying to do is like just make money, because it's like a random email that they forgot about you, and they're like, and typically they're promotionally based. So stay away from doing that, because you're not respecting your list. So just try to maintain consistency. Yeah, if anybody has any other questions, let me know. And I think, yeah, we've got time to answer them. So what else do we have here? We've got, thank you, so Joel.
No problem, Joel.
Joel, looking forward to connecting. If you guys want to call back, we always make sure we have enough time after these meetings for a quick phone call, quick connection. We can set up a meeting with you guys in full. So while I can use the email system located within email marketing for everything, it is a full newsletter system as well as an automation. Yeah, so in Constant Contact, there's the automation piece is the welcome newsletter. I didn't even talk about that today, but when somebody signs up to your email, then your goal with that is to make sure that you're giving them something relevant instantly. So if you are, I don't know, like let's say you're doing, like you're a financial expert or you're an accountant, you have to think of something compelling enough that's going to get them to opt in. So it could be like, here are the top 25 ways to reduce your taxes legally. Well, that would be a really good starting piece of content to lead in with an automation campaign. You give them that right away, and then you can activate the automation to have an endpoint of getting an appointment booking, because you have to assume that these are new people. So give them the 25 tips, and then a couple emails later, you are really focusing on making sure that they are engaging you further. So get that scheduled, that booking going. So I combine the two, all the time. Wouldn't newsletters be too long? Nina is saying, wouldn't newsletters be too long? No, newsletters aren't too long. If you're doing it the way we do it, we have the newsletter and then we connect it, for example, to our blog. So we have like an article, for example, that would go into the newsletter, but we would only put the first paragraph. We would just put like here, just this one line, just so that we're controlling the length of the communication, and then link it to our blog. So no, newsletters don't need to be long. They just need to be very focused. And the more you can segment them, the better off you'll be. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm going to go to the marketplace here since my screen is shared with Constant Contact. When you go to services, this is just featured providers, but nobody has anywhere close to our 244 5-star reviews. Like this is our pride and joy. This is what we love, and we've been doing this for a very long time. Highly specialized. Actually, we were one of the only organizations to be a channel leader. So a lot of our competitors are following us. Even some are on the call right now because they want to know what we're up to. Even Constant Contact takes ideas from us. It's kind of a compliment, but at the same time, I just want you to know we are the original OG Conscious Commerce Corporation. We service the United States and Canada. We've been operating for many, many years. I used to work for IBM Corporation, provided them with many solutions, but also had the opportunity to work with Harvard and Yale and the military, the White House, SFU, all kinds of incredible organizations. And that was back in '99. So yeah, I guess I'll stop sharing my screen. And who else has a question?
Don't be shy, everybody. I had a question, Brandon. What's is there an industry that you prefer to work with, or is there a type of email campaign that's your favorite, or that you'd recommend to kind of everybody, or what do you think there?
It's a great question. I have lots of experience in 26 years. What I've come to realize now is that as long as I can make an impact for you, I don't care what industry you're in, because I'm all after those results. So I've stepped back from attaching myself to being a niche expert, because to me, I'm a digital marketing award-winning expert. So it doesn't matter what channel, it doesn't matter who the client is, we're always making impacts. But I love it when I see a client who's like doing their own newsletters. I do the first call with them and just give them a bunch of ideas and then watch this client grow. That makes me happy. That's what lights me up. And I know that might sound like a bit of a sales thing, but trust me, I have more context and more care and concern about your ROI than you do. So I know that might not even sound nice, but that's just how I think, and I've always been that way. Even just when I was working in larger capacities with bigger corporations, I'd always be like, okay, let's think cash flow, let's be cash flow positive, let's not, and by the way, my company, like, we've been around for 18 years. We have zero debt. We're not anywhere close to half of the world in terms of what their financial situation is. We've had some of our best months in the last few months. And that's because we are a solid solution provider. We have a solid reputation, workflows, we operate transparently. Actually, these are the values in the company. Just to show you, we have them here. It's what so, and this is it. And we live that, and that's why when we have connections with clients, it's authentic. I love working with business owners. So if I don't have an industry, but I've worked with New York Times bestselling authors. I've worked with coaches, consultants. We have tons of healthcare providers. We work with lots of professionals. We have a whole bunch of Benjamin Moore clients. We work with Pandora, jewelry. It's just across the map, and I'm not attached anymore to industry.
Awesome.
Nonprofit.
You say that I've never worked with anybody that is actually so true to their word. It makes me so happy to see you light up when we get unreal results for a client, and just see their happiness and your happiness combined is unreal. There's nobody that I've had the experience with that actually cares like you do, Brandon, and that's why I think that we're the best. You're the best.
Thank you. Anybody else? I didn't really get any good questions. I don't think I got like anything that challenged me. There's nothing new here. Does anybody? I mean, you're still on. There's 10 of you still left. So if you, I'll wait around for another minute or so. Does anybody want the promo? Do you want a new template? We can call you after this.
Just let us know. Hey, Brandon, is there a specific day of the week that you would recommend sending out a newsletter, or?
Well, think about it. In retail, you got to think about that Friday, because, that's when people are off work and they can go to the mall, or they can go to your store and they can buy something from you. I'll tell you something cool. We just sent off an email to a client, and we're using now live chat. We have a really cool partnership with this product, and we've now closed the loop. So email gets sent, then the live chat agent is waiting on the website, because we know we're going to get clicks. So if you know consciously in advance that you're going to send an email and you are then manning the live chat, then you're going to be able to close the gap and actually engage that audience directly. So in terms of best day of the week, just stay away from Mondays and Fridays if you're not retail. If you are a professional services organization, you should stick to the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Don't send emails on the 1st of the month. Don't send emails on the 31st of the month. Those get deleted instantly. Just worst timing. So yeah, I would say stay away from weekends if you're a professional. A lot of people like to get to their email first, and they clear out the email on the phone before they get to work. Then they get to work and they're on their desktop. So strategically, if you want to get really exacting, you can do like a lunch hour, but again, everybody's got different time zones. And so we have advanced technology now that helps us do deliverability, like best day and time. So, but we've done a lot of manual testing too. It's just different for every organization.
So I think we got time for one more question here. Nina's asking, what would you recommend as a great layout for a newsletter?
Well, my favorites have always been a really compelling feature ad above the fold, above the scroll line, making sure that it's professionally designed, that looks really, really good, that's engaging, that is combined with a very effective promotional offer. So one column, mobile first. You have to make sure that it's made for mobile, because they're going to look at it first on their phone, and then they'll get to it later on their laptops and desktops. So at this point, one column, 800 pixels wide, because that'll keep you still within the fold, and you won't have any issues with visibility. And you know, really nice feature add. If you have the skill, then do an animated GIF. That's also part of our premium template offer. We'll do an animated GIF for you if that's what you want. That adds life to the email. It adds a bit of motion to it. So one column, and that's a good starting point. There's definitely, you know, looking, like I can see heat map now inside of Constant Contact, so I can see where people are clicking as well to get a much better understanding of how effective, like how to develop better performance over time. So we're up, we're done. We're hours here, so we are going to respect your time. And this has been a great webinar. Jordan, thank you for partnering up here with me, and I look forward to connecting with all of you. And Jordan will be reaching out, so expect an email and a phone call, and we'll see if we can connect and go from there. Okay,
Awesome.
Bye guys.
Thanks everybody.